Hello everyone, how are you all today? We're so excited to introduce to you our new app, Happy Home Hub, to help you stay home and stay entertained. But before that, let us introduce ourselves. So my name is Phuong, and I'm a full stack developer and currently attending Co-Chrysalis full stack web development bootcamp. And I love making fun and practical web apps and mobile apps as well. When I don't code, I enjoy playing guitar. And recently, because of the whole COVID-19 situation, I've been trying out different recipes and enjoy cooking a lot. And my teammate is Shuntaro.
Hello, I'm Shuntaro. I'm also attending Code Chrysalis, and I'm a full stack developer as well. And when I don't code, I usually watch and play soccer, but unfortunately, I can't do either of them. So I code a lot, and I really love it.
Okay, great. So we have a friend, Sato-san, and she is a typical young Japanese woman living and working in Japan right now. Because of the whole COVID-19 situation, she's been working from home for more than a month now. And as you can see, she's not just sitting in front of computer the whole day with her cat spreading out. And what about her weekend? Pretty much, so before the COVID, she used to hang out a lot with her friends, but now she's just laying down, pretty much scrolling down her phone, maybe going through Instagram or TikTok. I don't even TikTok, but so basically she's bored. And so we thought, isn't it going to be great if we can create an app to suggest fun activities for her to enjoy at home? And if so, she's be enjoying a lot more her time at home and taking more advantage of it. And so we jump right into a kind of online sketchboard to come up with the ideation of the app. And this is the very early stage that you can see on the screen. So we would think of a few of categories, and then we suggest random activities related to that specific category. So for example, if you do relax, and this is Shun's like beautiful handwriting on Netflix, because of course you think about Netflix when you think about relaxing at home. But yeah, essentially that's the idea, and we come up with the Happy Home Hub version 1.0. So still quite barebone. As you can see, the design is not that like slick yet, but if you can look closely, you can see a few text of categories right now: relax, learning, and exercising. And when you click into that, you can see some activities popped up and some tips how to do that kind of activity. So with that, let's jump right into the demo of the actual app right now that deployed on Google Play Store. So this is what the app looks like. How do you feel like doing today? Relaxing or learning or exercising? Let's say relaxing, and with prompt drink, you can press to start the timer to count for like say 1 hour. If you don't want that, you can choose another relaxing activity, which is might be meditation, and you can try doing that for 5 minutes. Sit comfortably, start to get into the zone. And you can also try learning activity as well. How about learning how to code? So we set a chunk of 30 minutes for you to learn JavaScript, for example. And then another learning activity is learning Japanese for another 30 minutes. You can start from some simple words and phrases in Japanese. You can also try exercising. Weight training is a great activity to do at home. 30 minutes to loosen up with a few light exercising first. You can always choose another activity. Oh, weight training again, because it's randomized. So, and again, okay, perfect. Now stretching, right? So you can start stretching another 30 minutes of working out at home. So yeah, that's pretty much about the app. Hope you enjoyed the demo. And next, Shunta will talk about the technologies under the hood that allowed us to make Happy Home Hub.
Thank you, Phuong. It's Shuntaro again. So now I will talk about the technology that we used to build Happy Home Hub. So we used Flutter and Dart, and I will talk about a little bit of both. Flutter is an open source free mobile UI framework created by Google and released in 2017. It allows you to make a natively compiled mobile application for both Android and iOS. So what makes Flutter so special is that you can only have single code base that allows you to have a native mobile application that you can deploy for iOS and Android. So you don't have to use two different languages like Swift for iOS and a Kotlin for Android. So that's very nice. And Flutter comes with something called widget. It's a collection of UI elements such as buttons, navbar, and text inputs, and so on. So using them, you can customize your own UI for your own needs very nicely. And to develop an app with Flutter, you would use a programming language called Dart. Dart is also created by Google. It's kind of similar to JavaScript. So if you're already familiar with JavaScript, it won't be too hard to learn and use. And these are some of the big companies that are using Flutter. So like I said, it's relatively new. It's only released in 2017, but it's getting more popular and popular, partly because it's created by Google, and also because the reason that I mentioned earlier that you can develop your mobile app for Android and iOS with single code base. Next, I will talk about some of the challenges that we had. First of all, well, it was for both of us, first time mobile developing experience. And like we said here at Code Chrysalis, we are now taking a programming boot camp, and we are mainly focusing on the web app developing. Right? So while we are learning and developing the web apps, we were learning and developing mobile app as well. So that was challenging. And then if it's your first time to develop mobile app, you would spend a lot of time setting up. You would have to install all the tools like Android Studio, Xcode, iOS simulator, Android simulator, and then running the simulator on your computer. Takes a lot of storage, so you won't, if you're familiar with web developing, it's not as smooth as at first you might feel, so that was challenging. And another thing, building on app with no Flutter Dart experience. What I mean by this is that, so working on this duo project, first we had to decide an idea of our project before getting familiar with the language itself. So me and Phuong decided to do mobile app developing, but we didn't know much about the language and the Flutter and the Dart, what we can do. But we got very excited and we are throwing a bunch of ideas like, oh, let's do this, we can implement this, and I think it's feasible. But later on, when we actually started learning Flutter and Dart, we realized that it wasn't as simple as we thought it would be. So we had to deal with the ideas that we had early on. So it's like we had to deal with the fire that we were setting on ourselves. So that was challenging, but we implemented very well. And another thing is time management. So we are now taking an immersive bootcamp course again. So while working on it, there is another a lot of assignments we had, and then other team project and solo project going on. We have to work on it. And then for the duo project, we built Happy Home Hub completely outside of the class schedule. So it was challenging for us to find a certain amount of time on the weekend, and we set up a meeting and work on a project, but we managed it well. And more specifically on implementation side, so structure of widget was a little bit confusing for us at first because we were more familiar with JavaScript, like using React. So when you're using React, you can, when you wanna render certain thing, you can have it as a component, and then you can just render it, you can pass it, right? But with Flutter, you would have to use a lot of widgets. You have to deal with widgets, and you have to include a widget inside another widget as a child. So that structure was a little bit confusing for us at first. It took us a while to get used to it. And one last thing, well, we deployed our app on Google Play Store, but right now, due to the coronavirus situation, because of the shorter working hour, this deploying process takes longer than usual. So when we first deployed our app on App Store, it was, of course, like first time for us, and we had to like get a license and fill out a lot of information. And then I thought we managed to do it, but a few days ago, it was actually Saturday. It's Monday today, and it was like 2 days ago, right? And then we got rejected from the store, and we had to resubmit it due to the license issue, and we resubmitted it, and then it's actually got accepted this morning. So it was pretty hectic, but it was a very interesting and a good learning experience. We enjoyed. And next, I would talk about some of the future features that we would like to add. So we would like to keep updating our app. And right now, because our app is meant for this current situation, everyone's staying home and getting bored, but we want our users to keep using our app even after this situation is over. So we would like to add after COVID-19, and we would like to add outdoor activity suggestions, such as you enjoy BBQ outside, or maybe you go fishing. And another thing we want to add is smarter suggestions. So right now, Happy Home Hub suggestion and activity completely randomly, right? Like random activities. So would it be nice if Happy Home Hub is smart enough to give you a activity based on the weather or even your mood. And related to that, we would like that face detection. So smart Happy Home Hub detect your face expression, and then depending on that, maybe when you look bored, it will suggest you something makes you not bored. And if you look happy, Happy Home Hub will give you something even makes you happier. And if you look nervous, it will suggest you something make you relax. That'll be very nice. And one last thing, we would like to add a social share feature. So right now, if you're staying home, especially if you live alone, you could easily get lonely. So we want to add, you can share with your friends on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Maybe you can record yourself, you're doing the activity. Maybe you can enjoy that activity with your friend, and then the more user would know our app too. And here is a QR code for our app. It's deployed on Google Play Store. So if you are Android user, feel free to read the QR code and install it. And this is the contact information of us. This is the handle name for GitHub and Twitter. And any feedbacks are welcome. And then please feel free to connect with us. We are both full stack developer, not just mobile app developing. We can also do web app developing. And then, like we said, we're now currently taking a coding boot camp, and we still got like 3 weeks. And we are now currently working on our final project, and which means we're making something even cooler. So, and our final presentation day would be on 25th June this month. And so stay tuned and please check that out as well. It'll be live streaming on the same YouTube channel. So thank you so much for watching it. That's it for us for today, but I'll see you next time.